this was really fun for me to do, to kind of think about photos. And this, for those of you who don't or may know Liberty Bottlewworks, this is really kind of a little bit more of an intimate look on the inside of me. And so this was really fun. I really appreciate and I'm very grateful for the opportunity, so thank you.
Welcome.
And I also wanted to share with you that I really love Yakima, and I am incredibly grateful to Yakima because we've been able to do this here. So without further ado, I'll go in. So Liberty Bottleworks. So we decided to build a factory in Yakima, Washington. It's a zero waste factory, and it doesn't produce any physical waste, any water waste, or any air waste. And we use recycled aluminum to make a water bottle. And it's kind of the next generation of what I think manufacturing should be about. This was my inspiration. It was a well in Afghanistan. A friend of mine took this photo, and it was his uncle working on well projects in Afghanistan. And I looked at this and I saw diesel canisters, and I saw different kinds of canisters in there that they're using to transport water. And I thought, this is crazy. We're putting in freshwater wells, and we don't have clean water bottles. So this is a picture of my wife. This is Liberty. And some people know that the company's named after my wife, some people don't. But she is the inspiration and the strength behind me. And she's why I named it Liberty. So that's part of it. This was the original prototype in what we were developing. It was solid aluminum, and it was my competitor's base, and so I actually just ground it down. And but I developed the patents and everything out of that, and it was very challenging getting it through airports. But that was the original, and this is another picture of the original with the cap that was actually, you see a lot of times these days these printers that actually print plastic. That was printed plastic. And so that's the way we developed the design and the patent. Wine bottles played a concept in the design of the bottle. It pours smoothly and it drinks smoothly. Nobody had ever done that. This is Ryan Clark with me. I got him to move from Ohio. He lives here locally now. So, and he has helped me build the company and do this. So he's a partner in this project, and I very much appreciate him. So I want to shout out to him as well. Hotspot Yoga there, and a few others. This is my son Emmett. So, but that's the factory, and that's before we put any machines in there. And it was the old Western RV building, and it was taking a building that's 35,000 square feet. And making a commitment to it and saying, okay, I'm going to build a factory. And so we started having machinery come in, and that's a semi-truck with our body maker. Our body maker actually is the same machinery that makes Hellfire missiles. So it was quite fun putting that together, but it was it went down in the factory here. So that was before we did anything. It was really challenging, but we built a bunch of stuff. This is kind of funny. This is my son Emmett. These big, beautiful machines come in, and they're covered in this pine wood. And so we took all the nails out of the pine wood, and that's what we made our picnic tables and our shipping tables, and everything in the building is made out of the packing material that the machines came in. I didn't know I needed a building permit, and so those buildings in the background, I had to run down to Union Gap and get a building permit. This was our first perfect bottle. And it was a very proud moment. That was October 17th, 2010. It took me another 8 weeks before I could make 2 in a row. That's all the scrap of the bottles that didn't get made perfectly. It was a lot of bottles. I made a lot of bottles that did not come out right. And it was a long, hard learning curve. But hey, it was recyclable. It generated some revenue. Buy high, sell low. This was our first major shipment. This was a shipment we sent to REI. Our first customer was REI. And they bought a lot. And they filled that trailer full of bottles. And that was a really, really big day. And just personally, it was like, we made it. So these were kind of our first prototype bottles, and they look really pretty and everything, But man, it was like each one of those was like $2,000 a piece. We had to like, you know, build it. You know, none of our machines were in our building yet, so we had to build the body in Ohio and then send it to Denver to neck it, and then we had to, you know, send it to a powder coat facility, and then we had to send it to Atlanta to be able to be, you know, printed, and everything's made from recycled aluminum, and you know, and so it was just this long process to be able to make these bottles. Something that people oftentimes don't know is that, you know, we made an effort to make sure every single bottle or every single machine in our facility was made in America. And you know, part of our desire was to make sure that we purchased American, we used American technology, and we really are trying to tie into, this is our original catalog, and it was really trying to tie into the heritage of American manufacturing. And you know, like our grandparents, and this was the second catalog, and she opened up the bottle. This is Miss Liberty. She's showing a little tab there on her arm. So she's opening up, and you know, this is the second catalog. So yeah, got a little receipt. Yeah. So by the time we got to the third catalog, she's riding side saddle on the bottle across the horizon. So she fully exposed her Mother Earth tattoo, and she's going at it. So, our real heart's desire was to be able to develop a company that would that Yakima could be proud of, that Washington State could be proud of. We do Dave Matthews, Maroon 5, Miller Coors, Halo, Red Hook. We just delivered our 500,000th bottle. We've been open for 2 years now, and we've delivered over 500,000 bottles so far. Wow. And we've got 35 full-time people. This is our, you know, a call out to Yakima. This is where water bottles are made. They grow from trees. Just like all of Yakima, everything good grows on trees. So we felt like, you know, water bottles should grow on trees. So this was kind of our artistic attempt of doing that. So. But honestly, I'm really grateful to be able to be at the point where we are. These are my boys and my wife, and just very grateful to be where we're at, and thank you very much.